Next question
Leave it
is,
to
what
Nate
are
and
y'all's
Henry to
thoughts on the
sidestep a
streaming
Patreon
service
question
Nebula
just to
from a
make it
creator
about
perspective,
themselves.
privacy perspective, whatever you want
And
to
of
view it
course,
as?
they're once
My
again
thoughts
whining about
start
making
with,
money from
I like the
YouTube.
concept. I
There's
wish there
this
were more
narrative
things like this.
that
and
YouTube
it's
ads
actually one of
don't
the
pay
most
a lot of
promising
money.
YouTube alternatives I've
You
seen
sound
because
skeptical
there's
when you
like
call it a narrative.
real
Funny you
channels that are
conveniently
on there,
forget
and I
Henry
think they're
himself
actually like
admitting
really
there's
good,
some
high
truth
quality
behind it.
channels. I feel like I've seen a lot of people say that. I've actually received
YouTube
several
Premium
times the
pays creators
comment
better than
that
ads.
people
So
are
if
all in
1,000
on
people are
Nebula, but they
watching
wish
YouTube
that
videos with
Techlore was
YouTube
on Nebula,
Premium,
and they were like
it's
the
paying
last channel
creators
that wasn't
better
on
than ad
Nebula.
revenue will.
Probably
Of
because we're not
course,
high
I
quality
can
enough for
understand Nate's
Nebula.
confusion.
I say that half jokingly.
It'd be very
but
easy to forget
I don't
some
know
of
if people
those
have
little
actually looked into
details.
this. If you go to Nebula's website,
Especially when you guys are
pretend you're a
constantly
creator with a
flip-flopping your
million
own narratives
subscribers.
and opinions.
Go to Nebula's website and tell me how you joined Nebula. There's no information on their website. There's no like transparent way to join Nebula. And the way that you become a Nebula
And
channel
maybe that's true if
is
you're like
they're like
a big
committee
enough
of
channel
people
where you can actually get
have
sponsors
to,
and
like,
stuff. But for me,
you have to
on a
essentially
good
know
year,
someone
I
who's
make about
already in
$500
Nebula
a
who
year on
suggests
YouTube.
you to this
And
committee,
I'm
and
telling
they
you right
decide
now,
if you get
that's
let
more
in.
than I get in donations or merch
That's my
sales or anything
understanding,
like that.
unironically, of
First
how
of
it
all,
works.
maybe put
Which
a
is
little
fine.
more
That's what
effort
they've
into your
chosen
own
to do, but it
channel
also
before
means that
whining
there's no
about
way
wanting
for like
more money.
me to join Nebula,
As it
even if I want
stands,
to.
most of your effort is going to surveillance
That's my
report,
creator
and you hardly
perspective.
ever
It'd be
upload
cool
to
to
your own
like even
channel.
consider it, but A,
Do
there's
you
no
honestly
information on
think
its
you deserve
website, and
more
B,
money,
I don't even
given
know
your
how to join
sporadic
it, even if I
upload
wanted
schedule
to.
and mediocre
Damn, I didn't know
content?
that. I knew it wasn't like just anyone could
Secondly,
sign
I
up
seem
because
to recall
I know
both of you
somebody
saying you're
suggested
not
it
in
to
this
us
for the money.
before, and I've looked into
All
it.
this whining about
But
financial
yeah,
support
right here on the
seems to
FAQ,
prove
how do you find
otherwise.
new creators?
We do this for
Nebula
free.
is
We're
not
not in this
intended
for
as a
the money,
YouTube competitor,
but
so
it
we are
would
not
help things a
actively
lot
working
grow this
toward an open
podcast,
platform.
which I think is
Our
important for the
content and our
mission,
roster
so-
are
And
carefully
actually,
curated by
surveillance
the
report is
creators to make
my
sure that
biggest source of
anything
income,
shown
but
here
after
is
that, my
something we
second
can all
biggest
stand
is
behind.
probably going to be
I'm with
YouTube
you. I
ads.
like the idea of
And
Nebula.
that's for
from
someone
a
who's like
creator
scraping together
perspective.
5
I
minutes
haven't
at the
really
end of the
looked
day
into it for
to like
privacy
write out a
because
paragraph
I
for
just
a
haven't had a
script.
reason to.
Well, of course, surveillance report is your biggest income. It's the only place you edit and upload content on a regular basis. And let's be honest, Techlore's reputation and popularity is the only thing keeping you relevant. The fact you have a full-time day job is your only valid excuse, but even that is starting to wear very thin.
If you're a full-time creator who's getting tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views per video, even if you have those sponsorships, it's like, why would you move to another platform? When you look at it from their perspective, every time I see somebody like, oh, you should move to this other platform. Why? Oh, because it's better for privacy. That's cool. My landlord doesn't give a crap about privacy. They still want to get paid. They still need the rent. There's no incentive, is what I'm trying to say. There's no incentive for them.
Incentives? Seems like you need yet another refresher.
For me, it's the time thing, because like when I started the new oil, I didn't even want to do it full time. I was like, I like having a day job. And, you know, that was also back when I worked at a place where I didn't hate all my coworkers. But, you know, I was like, I liked having a day job. I liked the fact that I wasn't beholden to this. Cause like I've heard people say that about, you know, coming from an audio side, like studios. I've heard people who own studios say, don't make that your full-time income, because then you have to take any project that comes your way, even if you think they're like a garbage band. Even if you think they have no talent and you hate the music, you have to do it because you need the money. Whereas if you do it as a hobby, you can only take the bands that interest you, and it's not a big deal. Unless you're like Andrew Wade and you can just do whatever the hell you want. But, you know, and that's how I was with the new oil, is like, I didn't want to do it full time because I was like, hey, there's no conflict of interest. I can turn down anybody I want.
That's exactly what a day job is for. The days of just casually uploading videos to YouTube and raking in ad revenue money are long gone. If ad revenue is so important, then by your own argument, platforms like Patreon, Ko-fi, and OnlyFans shouldn't even exist. There definitely are good incentives. Your problem is you don't like them. What you're crying about is financial incentives. If you're going to whine about something, at least have the balls to specify what you're complaining about. If making money is your priority, go cry to Surfshark or Raid Shadow Legends for a sponsorship deal.
From a creator perspective, I think that's what's interesting about Nebula, is that they do actually have that monetization model in place. Whereas everything else that people keep trying to come up with, it's like there's a moral reason to join it, but there's no practical reason.
Sounds like Nate is unintentionally saying that content creators have no morals, which would be the most honest thing anyone has ever said on Surveillance Report.
But I wouldn't have that many reservations about buying a brand new Google Pixel from the Google Store. Because to me, I'm using my money to send a message to Signal that I like their hardware business. I like their business that doesn't inherently involve data collection and just ads. you're not feeding into the ad revenue world if you're paying for YouTube Premium. It's not just about YouTube and Google. When you're watching an ad, you're also benefiting some other company, and you're also making that company, like you're one more person that got to see that ad, which that company's paying for. And granted, there's always going to be another person who would have seen the ad, but if all these ad people start realizing, oh, people don't watch ads anymore, I guess, it's all idealistic, because I'd say maybe they're just going to stop running ads, but they're just going to find more invasive ways to implant their ads into things. So I don't know. It's a messy situation.
Funny how YouTube will complain about YouTube's lack of morals, but creators aren't expected to have any, as long as you're getting paid.